What's up, guys?
Oh, hey.
You just finished the movie,
I just finished it.
Nice.
Me too.
I know, that's been stuck in my head for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome to Bad Tubs. We got everyone here today. We got Robin, Darian, Austin, and Martin, and me. My name's Jade, if you didn't know that already. And today we watched Mind Game by Masaki Yuasa. A legend. Great guy.
Do all our names end with N? Ian, Martin, Austin, Robin, Jadrian, Darian.
Wow.
That's cool.
We have so much in common.
Yeah.
You could call us the N Squad. Wait, no, don't call us that. Don't call us that.
Call us that.
I like that.
Some of the whitest people you know.
How are you guys doing? Any crazy new news? Martin, how's that girl?
I'm not talking about that on the podcast.
Damn it. Come on.
Martin's classy.
Mr. Martin.
I don't kiss and tell.
I do.
Yeah, we know.
Jadrian, tell him about the time you kissed me.
Oh, shit. I must have been really drunk. But I did kiss Martine one time. You remember Martine, right? Yeah. So
Oh, Martine. Yeah.
I was like, me?
Martine was
Me?
an exchange student from Mexico, but we went out drinking and we were trying to pick up girls. This was like early college. We met these two Swedish girls and we all went to the park. And Martine was like, "You guys should make out." And they're like, "Okay, we will if you guys like kiss first." And so we look at each other and we're like, "Are we gonna do this?" And we did like a quick kiss. And they never made out. They robbed us of our agreement.
I think my mind shifted after watching this movie. Like, I paused it halfway through to get food. And I was walking outside and everything seemed like it was in a mind game setting. But that is the most mind game story, I feel like, of like looking at your bro and be like, are we really gonna kiss? and then once the makeout happens, you guys both look over and they're gone.
And then the music plays.
Yeah.
One turns into a giraffe.
Uh-huh.
The other is an F-16 fighter plane.
Yeah. Do you have anything exciting going on?
My landlord's kicking me out. Or trying.
What?
Genuinely?
Why?
He wants to sell the house for the big bucks. So he was trying to be all forceful and make us move. And then we were like, no, we have 7 months. You either pay us money or we're not leaving. And then I put it all on email. And his tone changed because it was like, "You're illegally trying to force us out." He's like, whoa, I never said that. What are you talking about?
I never said that on the internet.
Wow. Well, hopefully you get a nice payout. Me and Jade are in the same boat. Our landlords are kicking us out. New York is more hostile than ever.
You should move here if you're looking for a place. Seattle's looking for people.
New York to Seattle. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know if New York is the place to be during World War III.
Oh, really?
I think we might be the first to get liberated, though. Like, if there's a war with China,
Like, from our bodies, liberated.
from our shackles of oppression.
Like, sent to a higher plane.
I mean, speaking of landlords, they were kind of the first to go in China.
Really?
I was telling Jade this last week, but earlier today, but in the old feudal system in China, the landlords would grow their fingernails so long that they would start to curl. And they did this to demonstrate to their subjects that they couldn't work even if they wanted to. Like, that's how little they have to, they literally can't grasp a shovel or anything.
Logistical question that's kind of gross. How do you wipe your ass if,
They couldn't.
I think you probably have people help you with that.
no.
I don't know. The book didn't go into that.
It's a reasonable question.
No, yeah. I mean, you gotta wonder.
Oh, you know, I did see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child on Broadway. I highly recommend that.
Really?
Was it?
It was amazing. It was so funny, and it had the real Draco.
Potter.
Darian, I know you were a big Harry Potter fan.
What?
Tom Felton, right? Yeah, he
Yes.
plays Draco, but he's like a dad now.
That's funny, because I just saw a billboard for it, and I was looking at the actor. I was like, they did a really good job casting that guy. He looks just like the original Draco. Turns out.
Turns out his career hasn't taken off the way that some of his castmates did.
Oh, he's doing Broadway.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Isn't Harry Potter doing something with Megan Thee Stallion?
Like Daniel Radcliffe?
Yeah, Daniel Radcliffe. I feel like he does all sorts of interesting, weird projects.
I didn't know that would excite me as much as it did.
Potter.
Megan Thee Stallion is an anime fan, so who knows?
Our first guest.
Oh my God.
Calling her out.
imagine the numbers. Oh my god.
That'd be
There's a
pretty
lot of
sick.
anime fans. There's a lot of like UFC fighters that are anime fans.
Yeah, and then Oscar winner Michael B. Jordan is a big
Yeah.
anime fan.
Is it
Really?
Princess Mononoke his favorite movie?
Yeah, and he was
Respect.
like he was like really spitting references and about like anime at a recent like interview, and I was like, damn, this guy genuinely watches like up to date shit.
That's pretty cool.
Although I feel like more film people know Mind Game than anime fans.
Yeah, it's not even really an anime.
I don't know. I think it's anime.
If you like anime, like when you think of the general idea of anime, I don't think Mind Game pops to the top of your head.
Fair enough.
Like
Yeah.
Jujutsu Kaisen or
What? Yeah,
But anime is
Attack on
just like a
Titan.
medium, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's just a
Yeah.
medium with the country of origin being specified. Like, you can have experimental films, and they're still films, even if like college students don't have posters of them on their dorm walls. Like, I don't know.
That is true.
French New Wave is still like a movie.
And also, spiritually, it felt like an anime because there was a lot of upskirt shots and a lot of emphasis on this lady's big boobs.
Yeah.
And that says anime to me.
Mind Game by Masaki Yuasa. This is his directorial debut, which I was kind of surprised about. He was involved in some other shows. I actually haven't seen much of his other work, but Austin, you know, like Kaiba, Tatami Galaxy.
Yeah. Kaiba's great. I've never gotten through Tatami Galaxy. I think it's more of like, it seems more YA to me. I don't think it's really for me, but Kaiba was fun. Great.
He's also been involved in Devilman Crybaby and Ping Pong, and he also directed an episode of Adventure Time. Food Chain? I haven't really seen Adventure Time, so I don't know.
That checks
I
out.
literally only watched that episode because I saw that he directed it, and I didn't know what was going on.
That's crazy. Because I was when we were watching Mind Game, there's like she wears like a hat at the end, and I was like, is that Finn's hat from Adventure Time? It's like, was did that inspire the design of Adventure Time character?
Let me think
I
about
wonder. Okay, well, so if it's not like an anime, if people who are into anime don't necessarily come across this movie, had you heard about this movie and what had you received about the movie before seeing it?
I love Yuasa's work. I love Devilman Crybaby. I love Ping Pong, the animation. I think that's fantastic. Oh, Japan Sinks as well. That I forgot that he
Oh, yeah.
co-directed,
Yeah.
which was great. I had a fond time watching it. I don't think it's like one of his best, but it was, it was a good time. And so I've known about Mind Game for years now. Funny enough, when I was in high school, I used this pirate streaming site for anime called Kiss Anime at the time.
Oh, I love Kiss Anime.
Yeah. And I had reached out to them like via their Facebook like chat being like, there's this little known movie called Mind Game and you guys don't have it up. Can you please put it up? And eventually they were like, oh yeah, like we can do that.
Wow.
It's funny that the piracy website was taking requests.
Yeah. They weren't. I was just, I don't know. A high school me was like, I can message people.
I hadn't heard of it or anything about it, so I was going in blind here.
Cool.
I went in completely blind.
Had you guys seen any of Yuasa's other work?
What about the Matrix anime series?
Animatrix.
Darian, did Jade ever make you watch that?
No.
I'm pretty sure, if not this director, Studio 4C, which produced this movie, was responsible for, I think, all, if not most, of the Matrix anime series, which I'm ashamed to say I quite liked as a child.
Bye.
I mean, they were great.
It was tight as hell.
It was cool.
Yeah, Studio 4C is like an anime studio. Pretty legendary in terms of like, I don't know. They're well respected in the animation community. They don't make too much stuff, and I don't think they make too many like series. Typically, it's like shorts or feature length films,
music videos. The video game Catherine, the
Really?
animated sections are by Studio 4C.
Really? That's I
Again.
don't know that.
Sounds scary.
No, what is it? It's not scary.
Slightly
It's-
creepy.
It's yeah.
It's up trying to fight your way up through your nightmares. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually really hard to describe. Yeah.
And it's a dating simulator at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How many years have we been together?
So are you Catherine or are you chasing Catherine?
Catherine is like your controlling wife who wants to have a baby with you, but you maybe cheat on her depending on which ending you want. Or you
Okay,
stay with
now
her.
I gotta play this game.
And
It's a great game.
I haven't played it either. Isn't the name Catherine like a combination of the three women
Yeah.
or three personas?
So there's two Catherines. One's with a K, and then there's one that's like a succubus Catherine with like a C, and she's the one trying to tempt you into being unfaithful. And then they released a newer version that has a third character in it.
I think her name's Rin.
Yeah.
I love
You got
that.
Kath as the original Catherine. You have Rin, and then you have the as in the middle of Catherine. And that's played by Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh.
Little known fact. Yeah, she's really into anime and video games.
Just for the listener, if you haven't seen the movie, I really encourage people to check out this movie. I think it's pretty one of a kind, and it's pretty hard to describe. Like, I think we'll try to get through the plot, but it's definitely a vibes heavy movie. We're not going to be able to capture.
I mean, for me, it's like maybe my fifth time watching it. It sounds like you've seen it a bunch of times, right?
Yeah, in high school I had a copy of it, and I'd put it on all the time. I just thought it was awesome.
There's a lot to pick up too, because there's a lot of fast-paced montage scenes that we'll talk about later. Things that are just kind of clipped in there briefly that tell a larger backstory of some of the characters that you'll definitely miss the first time.
Yeah, one of the motifs is characters will get like in a heightened emotional state will get little glimpses of memories from their past, but the movie rarely distinguishes whose memories those are. So sometimes we're getting memories from multiple different characters smashed together into these otherwise quiet montages.
There's also memories that don't exist, or potential memories, or like how things could go.
Sure. Yeah, we get visions of the future when well, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but yeah, there's also fantasies and alternative histories.
Let's start with the beginning.
All right. So Nishi, a boy of 20 who dreams of being a manga artist, runs into his childhood friend and crush Myon.
こんな近くに住んでたんか。
東大元暮らしやろ。
Beautiful, massive boobies, like Robin mentioned. I couldn't tell if that was an artistic choice or I don't know what
Personality
that's about.
trait.
Yeah. Nishi is what might be called a NEET, which I found out means not in education, employment, or training. I never knew that. So in short, that's like kind of like a loser, maybe incel.
I feel like that's a very early 2000s type of term.
Did that become popular in America? I feel like it's just a Japanese term, NEET.
I've only heard it in a Japanese setting.
Or hikikomori, which
Yeah.
I think is more reclusive.
Yeah.
I think a NEET is more just unemployed. Anyways, he's kind of a loser. Nishi, our main guy. He has yet to discover the divine masculine. Chatting a bit and ignoring Nishi's lame, pervy attempts to hit on Myun, she invites him to her and her sister's restaurant / izakaya. There they meet Myun's responsible older sister, Yan, who's running the bar.
As they're meeting, they haven't seen each other in a long time. They were childhood friends, and he's always had a crush on her. And he keeps wanting to like propose his love for her. And then she tells him that, hey, by the way, I'm getting married. And he gets like a glimpse of what he'd like to do in that moment, which is like stand up, and we get a scene where he like proposes his love, and she's like, I love you too. And it all works out. And he's like snapped back to reality. He doesn't have the courage to tell her how he actually feels. So he's just like, oh yeah, that's cool. No worries.
He doesn't have any guts.
And then she's like, oh, it'd be nice if you if you would actually stand up and tell me that you love me. And so that's like the setup of like, by the time they get to the bar, he's feeling kind of like sunned and weak.
He's feeling sunned, but he still has a little bit of optimism that he will profess his love. He's just got to wait for the right time, which means he's never going to do it.
Mm-hmm. So they get to the bar, they meet Myeon's sister, Yan, and then their father, who is like a player, kind of pervy old guy who dates younger women.
We also meet her husband, who's like the Giga Chad meme. Making him feel even less secure in his own body.
Big, confident, tall,
gray hair,
semi-successful, at least compared to Nishi. Then two scary Yakuza dudes walk in. One who's kind of quiet and cool, and the other who's wearing a diaper for some reason, but this like massive, hulking, athletic, angry, bald guy who's holding a soccer ball.
I was cracking up. Yeah, he goes into the bar and he's just immediately just like he's just like having a freak out on this soccer ball, and everybody's super uncomfortable.
They come in looking for Myeon's father because Myeon's father slept with the soccer player's daughter. Is that right?
Yeah.
Girlfriend.
That was the reason.
Girlfriend.
Oh, girlfriend. Yeah. Okay.
Daughter, girlfriend.
Ooh.
What?
No Epstein. Pretty much shit gets out of control. This big hulking guy freaks out, pulls out a gun, starts beating the shit out of the husband, slaps around Myeon a little bit, threatens to take her.
It gets really dark.
It gets really dark.
I think every time I watch the movie, I forget that this scene gets so dark and so violent so quickly. I
was panicking because I was like, oh shit, this is going to be another 13 Assassins where Darian turns off the movie at this point. I was like, oh my God, just hold on for like 2 more seconds. The rest of the movie's not like
I think I almost did because, like I said, all I knew was the title of this movie. And I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, I'm already lost, but I'm getting some paprika energy. Mm-hmm. And then am I about to watch a violent rape happen? It was...
It's intense. While all this is happening, our protagonist Nishi is like just a cowering mess behind
He's
the
a
bar.
ball on the floor, just shivering and freaking out, doesn't know how to handle the situation at all. And the big Yakuza guy.
He made me so mad.
He has no guts. He has no divine masculine energy. No leadership skills. The Yakuza dude starts lumbering over to him, wants to antagonize him because he's so pathetic and weak, and puts the gun right between his ass cheeks. And in kind of like a last act of rebellion and anger and frustration, Nishi shouts out, "I'm going to hurt you." And as soon as he says that, the guy pulls the trigger and blows his brains out through his ass.
Yeah, the bullet going through his entire body out in front of his face.
It's also very 2004.
Is
I don't know why. I just got early 2000s energy from this whole movie because there are certain things that you could not put in an anime in 2026 that felt like was in this anime. And I don't know, maybe I'm looking at through too much of a lens, but I got an energy of Xbox Live with it all. I don't know why.
There's a maximalism to it that I feel like was trendy.
There's a raw maximalism to it.
Yeah, a lot of GameCube energy too.
Lots of GameCube energy.
I'm just talking about vibes right now.
Like Killer 7.
Oh my God.
But I'm really curious, Darian, in this first act of the movie, where were you? What were you feeling? What were you thinking?
Were you mad?
I was holding back my angry texts.
Oh shit! I knew it.
I was like, but I gave it an extra second, and I gave it an extra second because I wanted the main character to die. So I was pretty pleased when he did.
What didn't you like about him?
He was just such a coward. Like, how could you stand by in such a moment? I don't know. I just wanted to punch him in the face, you know?
And Last episode you mentioned that like you're not usually like trying to figure out what's so different about art styles necessarily, but like that you can feel it's different, but you can't tell why.
You have to be able to tell in this movie. This is
I'm
way.
curious what you're feeling with the animation in this, because it's all over the place.
I couldn't track what was changing, to be honest. Like if you were to compare them, I'd be like this one looks flat. But it was interesting. It kept me really engaged. Like, what is happening? And trying to pair the characters when they were in different animation styles. I'm like, okay, I think this is this character still. Or
Were you insulted when they put real people faces on the anime bodies?
Well, I mean, that seems to be like a thing that they like to do every now and then. It recently happened in an anime I'm watching. It's weird, but it's okay. As long as it's not the majority of the time.
Darian hasn't seen a real person on screen since 2009.
It's jolting for her.
Oh, what is that? Yeah. It was fun though.
What did you see it in recently? Like as a gag or something, or what?
Oh, Fire Force. Gosh, it's like in the newest season. I think it's in 3 at least. But they look so far back into the future. Spoiler alert! That they go to when like people looked like us. It was a trip. I was like, what is
That's
happening?
Nice to know. In the future, we're all anime people.
Yeah, but we could also catch on fire at any moment. So
right.
You give and take. Yeah,
Absolutely worth it.
That happens now.
Yeah.
Does it?
That happens in New York semi-frequently. Oh, wait, I shouldn't laugh about that.
Rough. Yeah.
I don't know why I chuckled at that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a common artistic choice with this show was that in certain moments, almost like more emotional moments, there would be what looks like was a filmed person, probably the director himself, making a facial expression that would then be warped and stretched to fit the anime face that he was portraying in an extremely unsettling way.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it was successful because I was unsettled.
And Jade and I were watching this as kids. Like, I remember thinking that was just so fucking punk rock. Like, I thought it was so sick. I was like, this looks like a zine. I don't know, you can make anime look like a zine. I was really into it.
The whole movie did have zine energy.
When you first showed me this when we were kids, I honestly thought it was bullshit. For like the first 30 minutes, I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is not anime.
This movie was like Quiznos Subs, the anime.
Go on.
What?
Huh?
What?
Just take the energy of the toasty Quiznos Subs commercials and you make a feature length out of
You blipped out.
You
I
cut
don't
out.
think you're allowed to talk about Quiznos Sub.
Quiznos is coming
It's their
after you.
sponsor. You've been warned before about your trashing of Quiznos. Don't let it happen again.
Oh no.
It appears he's frozen. Martin, was this your first time watching it?
It was, yeah.
What did you think at this point?
Yeah. The opening had my jaw on the ground. I loved that montage that happens that I think they kind of reused throughout the film at different points, and then they definitely reused a lot of it for like the ending. I don't know. I loved it. I was like, I don't know exactly what's going on, but the feeling that I'm getting from this is so visceral, of like this culmination of different lives that are all blending in and different emotions, and it's great. It was a great way to start the film.
I love that description of like, you don't know what's going on, but the feeling of it is so strong.
Yeah.
That's part of why I like this movie so much, because keeping track of all the sequence of events is kind of impossible because there's so many different little segments, but you still, I think, come away by the end of the movie feeling like you understand or at least feel what it's about.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's when the movie works so well for me, because there are points in this movie where I'm like, I don't know, less enthused, but definitely the first third and kind of the last few sequences, I'm like, this is a masterpiece.
It's kind of like when a bunch of ingredients come together perfectly to make a delicious toasted sub from Quiznos.
also like to say, like, because I had only seen snippets of like with the art style with the real faces every so often online, and I was skeptical of how well it would work or if it was going to be pleasing. In my opinion, it works so well, and so much of this movie is beautiful to look at, even though it's so, rough in its art style, and it's so kind of like indie, and it seems like it's a very grounds up operation of like, and then we'll just, no backgrounds, but just like rotate the characters and, do whatever the fuck you want with the animation. I loved it. I like that. That worked so much for me.
Yuasa says he was inspired to make a use of this combination of styles in order to preserve the feeling of the original manga, which was drawn in a rough visual gag style. I wanted it to look as though we hadn't worked very hard on it, though of course we did.
何ライバル視しとんねや。みょんちゃんとこいつのしこりになるようなことは務めて。
Yeah, a lot of the line work looks like first draft kind of sketches. Like they like intentionally don't like ink like solid black lines over like the more rougher penciled in sketches.
Martin's a storyboarder, and it looks like storyboards for initial scenes, which have a lot of like cut out and warped 3D. It almost looks more like a collage when you're first putting together the storyboards for a scene. This entire movie felt like a collage.
I hadn't seen that a lot in anime before, and I think it's fun.
Oh.
At least the first time I saw this movie, this is when I realized I had no idea where this movie was headed.
Yeah. So his spirit leaves his body, and he pretty much wakes up in a dark void, and a giant screen pops up, which plays over and over his horrific, embarrassing death. And as he tries to close his eyes or look away, the screen becomes the ground, and then a giant polygon 3D version of him getting shot in the ass and it blowing out of his head emerges in the distance. And this is where he meets God, who is a shape-shifting... He never is really more than one form for more than like half a second. And is pretty much trying to reason with God, saying like, this is it? This is how I die? I don't want to die this way. This is embarrassing. I haven't even done anything. I'm only 20. And God's like, well, that's too bad. You got to go through that door over there. That's just how it is. And he's like, fuck that, and runs the opposite direction towards Earth. Pretty much impresses God because has so much conviction to return to his life and not die in such a horrific way that God's like, all right, you get one more chance, and allows him to return to this moment except like 3 seconds before he dies. So we come back to present reality where the gun's still in his ass.
Such a badass. Yeah.
And he grips the end of the pistol with his butt cheeks in like a blink and you miss little spin. He like disarms the guy with his butt. And then like grabs the gun and shoots him.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
He turns the tides, grabs the two ladies, and is like, all right, now we're living life according to my terms. I'm a new man. I'm not going to live as a quiet, lame incel Nishi anymore. I'm the shit now. And steals the Yakuza car.
And he goes, I'm tight as fuck. First order of business, Grand Theft Auto.
Mm-hmm. I like that he takes the girls, but he leaves their dad.
Yeah.
The dad has been cowering this whole time behind the counter, avoiding the Yakuza members.
It was kind of justified of him leaving dad.
I mean, they were all in that predicament because of the dad's actions. Like the dad had slept with
that we did learn.
Like Yakuzas,
Yeah.
And then he was just cowering in fear, hiding away from his problems.
They steal the car, and then a giant chase happens where pretty much the whole Yakuza army is on their ass, shooting at them, trying to chase them down. And there's a phone in the car. Nishi picks up the phone because the Yakuza boss calls him and is like, we're gonna fucking kill you, like you're dead. And he's like, whatever, man, I'm free, I can
YOLO.
You can't catch me.
Yeah, it's also crazy that the Yakuza boss is the guy from Dune, the evil
That is true.
That whole chase scene, I was cackling. Like, there's so many visual gags. One point, they're going 120 miles an hour, and one of the Yakuza goons stumbles out and is like running besides them. And it's like very like Hanna-Barbera. Like, he looks down and is surprised that he can even run that. It's just silly.
And then once he realizes that his legs are keeping up, he's like, "Oh, I got this!" And then he runs up on the car. Yeah, it's amazing.
Or there's a moment where one of the Yakuza cars accidentally is about to crash, and right before it, we get a glimpse of a memory of that Yakuza guy as a child.
Not a main character at all.
He's mourning his dead bird, and suddenly it lands on his finger, and then he goes, "Oh, my birdie," and then it goes back to reality, and just the car smashes into another car, and they die. It's so absurd.
They get to a bridge where the Yakuza pretty much set up this trap in order to blockade them and stop them. And Nishi, in an act of desperation, swerves off the side of the bridge into the ocean, at which point a giant whale comes up and eats them. And now we're into the next half of the movie, which is inside of a giant whale.
It quickly turns into kind of a hangout movie, but I love this whole middle section.
Yeah.
I have one main critique for how fast-paced this movie was, how chaotic it was. There were only 2 locations in this entire movie. It was either the bar / little town they're in and inside the whale.
I guess how it expands outside of that is the montages where we see different locations or more of the world through other people's memories or something. So much of the movie takes place inside of the whale, and it is so slow compared to what we just experienced. And I think that's intentional. They're trapped inside of a whale and coming to terms with the fact that they're stuck here.
Like, I was trying to really figure out why the first third, like before the whale, worked so well for me, and then why the whale parts didn't. And I was wondering if it was like because it was so internal and reflective of these like dream sequences that, you know, as all dream sequences do, it's like, are they moving the plot along, or are characters developing? And am I buying that they're developing? Because one can argue it doesn't really matter because it's all made up.
I don't really know what this whole abrupt pace change / being in the whale represented. I'm not smart enough. I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping you would figure it out, Martin. But
I mean, I think the 2 mind game experts who've seen it like 5 times each definitely know. The way I took it is like he finally made this choice to live for himself, but despite his actions and despite, you know, now he realizes that living for yourself and choosing the path can lead to consequences, like being stuck in this whale. And then at the end, he's like, you know, life is worth living, and I don't care about the mundane or the terrible things out there. I want to just experience them all. Right? Is that mind game experts?
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. I don't think the movie's particularly profound. You get the whole movie in the first 30 minutes, which is you see this guy who's stuck, trapped by something. He gets a second chance and he breaks out of that rut. And then the rest of the movie is doing that over again, only this time he's trapped inside of a literal whale. And so it's just kind of the same thing, just more drawn out this time, and he's not doing it alone. But yeah, while they're in the whale, they're, you know, haunted by their memories, all the mistakes they made in the past, but they're also trying to like envision what life must be like outside of the whale. We also didn't mention that they befriend a grandpa, a sweet gay grandpa.
Yes.
Who's been trapped in the whale for 30 years.
Who also used to be a gangster. He used to be kind of a bad dude, but then has had a lot of time to reflect and find his heart again.
I mean, certainly there's got to be some like biblical things with the. Doesn't the Bible have a big whale that eats a guy?
Moby Dick?
Isn't that Moby Dick?
Well,
the classic Bible story of Moby Dick?
No, Jonah? No, Jonah doesn't go in a whale. I'll look it up.
I've never read the Bible.
I wasn't even baptized. Darian, are you religious?
I was a long time ago. I've been baptized. I've read the Bible. I don't remember.
No way.
Is there a whale?
I can't tell you. I don't remember there being a whale, but
Jonah in the Bible is swallowed by a whale, and it's like an agent of God holding Jonah for 3 days and 3 nights as a symbol of repentance. So maybe they have to repent their sins, come to terms with their demons, right their wrongs. I mean, it's such a thin plot. I don't really think we see a lot of that, but there is like, before they're able to actually get out, spoiler alert, there is a moment where like Myeon apologizes to her sister about how they were raised, and there's something like that. The grandpa, I think, maybe comes to terms with his homosexuality. Maybe we see him have like a wet dream where he's like hooking up with our protagonist. And then we also see him kiss his dinosaur buddy, which he also has a dinosaur buddy.
Yeah.
I thought he was coming to terms with the fact that he was like a Yakuza boss and stole, or like he was hiding money in a package and he grabbed the wrong package, and that's how his family died.
My feeling of it is like they had to have like strong isolation, because the ending is so like this release, and we'll get into it and talk about it too. But for that release to happen, that joining of them with the world, or this feeling of this vast sky, it had to be quiet and dark and lonely. So I felt like it was an emotional choice in my mind.
It gave them an opportunity to decide what it is about life that they'd like to do with it. Like we see Myeon's sister
turn into a lesbian. Yeah,
she turns into like a Free Pussy Riot style performance artist. And she gets real freaky with it, and I like a good hangout movie, so I actually really like this middle chunk, because it's just like 4 people entertaining each other, cooking food, putting on shows for each other, dancing, swimming, and it's definitely music video-y. Like I said, it could be filler, but I like it. I used to put this movie on. I worked at a hostel a while back, and I would just put this on the TV on mute, because it kind of just works with any music you put on.
That is very true.
That's true. Especially those like dream sequences. I'm like dancing around. When she's like throwing paint on her.
For all the horniness in this movie, that scene with her balloon titties was one of the wildest things I've ever seen in my life.
I liked the bamboo dicks. That was fun.
The bamboo dicks was tight. The tap dancing.
Yeah, and the jump rope with them. Like, what?
They're double dutching with their bamboo dicks.
This is so weird to imagine if you've never seen the movie and just listening to this right now.
And everything we're saying is pretty out of pocket, but I feel like they're extremely accurate descriptions of what we watched.
Darian, did you like this part? Did you? I mean, you might not have even liked this movie, so maybe that's the wrong question to be asking you.
Well, it made me question my sobriety. Did I toke before this? Like, I am not following. Am I supposed to be following right now?
She questioned her friendship with Adrian.
That was earlier, yeah. I mean,
were you invested in the relationship between Nishi and Myeon at all? Like, were you happy when they finally hooked up? Were you rooting for them?
I didn't really like our protagonist, so I never really
not even when he
for
became
him.
Super confident.
Even then, he was just a douchebag. I did root for the gals, of course, because I don't know if they did any super messed up things.
This is maybe a leading question, but did you feel like it was like typical male fantasy when he comes back? He becomes this kind of like, I don't know, alpha male, and he's like, all right,
Divine
got my
masculine.
2 women. He finds the divine masculine.
He takes leadership over his life. He cleans up his room.
He mogged on the Yakuza.
Yeah.
I could see how anyone might end up in that position after dying a very humiliating death and then getting your second chance. Like, probably anyone would come out guns a-blazing, like, not doing that again. I'm living with no regrets now.
Mm-hmm.
I try to do that.
I feel that, but I do see how it was very much like if I was 14 years old and I could do it all again.
Yeah.
The first thing I would do is steal a car. You know, like
I'd invest in Dogecoin.
You'd still lose money. That's a horrible investment.
But you know, Darian, this is kind of like Naruto. It's that that ultimate belief in
Believe
yourself, that is the undeniable belief in yourself at any cost.
I mean, that's a stretch. Naruto earned it, right? Like, worked towards it. He got there, and he believed in his friends and like the power of all of them together more than anything.
Oh.
And he had reasons to be confident.
Yeah. He had a better KD ratio, too.
Kill to death ratio.
He never died.
That's true. Almost.
Same.
Yeah.
Good point. Even by being alive, you've got a pretty solid ratio.
Yeah.
Just by default.
0 deaths.
Yeah. So they're trapped in the whale, and the reason they're trapped in there is because the only way to get out is through the mouth. But every time the whale's mouth opens, a giant barrage of water comes in and pushes them back. And the old man is starting to become concerned that because the mouth isn't opening as often, that means the whale isn't feeding as much. So he's worried that the whale might be dying. And if the whale dies, that means they're going to die inside. So even though the grandpa has been convinced that it's impossible to get out of here, he's like, we should probably do it. He has a radio, and I thought it was cute. He tunes the radio to figure out where the whale is in the world. And they discover that they're actually near Osaka. And they think perhaps the whale has brought them back there for a reason. And so they make preparations to finally escape.
Where do you think the worst place in the world would be that the whale could have spit them out in?
Los Angeles.
Spits them out into LA.
Take me back.
And this is where the movie starts to pick up again. It's ramping up to be this intense, climactic, just rush, all in, race to the finish line, kind of like Red Line. Mm-hmm. Or I think of like Whiplash too, like endings where they're just like, it's like an orgasm. It's like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, boom.
Mm-hmm. Good description.
I want you to unpack how it's similar to Whiplash. Because that one didn't connect for me.
I know what you're saying. Like that final moment where they like just like it's like silence and they just like look each other in the eye.
It's hyper focused, extreme intensity. There's nothing else but this moment, this direction. And then there's the release at the end. So in Whiplash, when he's drumming and, you know, there's no other chance that he has other than this moment to show that he's the best drummer. He's going, and everyone's paying attention, and he doesn't even care anymore. There's nothing else going on in the world except drumming in that moment. Something like that.
Okay.
It feels like a race towards the finish
I think
line.
I got chills a little bit as Jade started describing it.
It's a good movie. It's a great movie.
Because at this point, our characters are trying to get through the massive wave that happens every time the whale opens his mouth to feed. And they run up the wave, going through all kinds of debris, memories. I think they're running on molecules at a certain point.
He steps on a fly and like uses the fly as leverage to push himself up further.
At one point, his ankle breaks, and we get a flashback to him, like his mom trying to encourage him to drink milk as a child, and then him like secretly pouring the milk down the drain. But then we see that, but she knew that, so now she's been pouring milk into his food so that he gets calcium. So then we go back to the present, and then his foot unbreaks actually because actually it turns out his mom was getting him calcium.
I loved that.
Yeah, that was great.
They throw everything at you in this last part. There's like buildings falling, planes coming in, bombs.
At one point, an entire skyscraper.
It's the sisters, it's Nishi. But then at some point, they go back to the old man.
He falls behind, but Nishi grabs him and pulls him up by his hand while he's running.
Oh, yeah, they all lose their clothes.
Yep.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. That adds up.
Yeah.
Well, they're reborn, right? They gotta be naked. And like Jade says, they all climax upon leaving the whale's mouth, and they are flying over the city. And this really irks me every time I watch the movie. Then it shows the name of the movie, Mind Game.
Yeah.
And every single time I think, That's such a dumb name for this movie. It doesn't make any sense. What's the game? Like,
Yeah.
it just feels corny. Feels like a zine title, frankly.
I never thought about that.
I hate the title. And it's a movie I love, so I really hate the title. It reminds me of there's a Spanish movie called Time Crimes, which fucking rocks, but it's hard to recommend to people because it has such a stupid title. And like, if you see the movie, it doesn't make it, like, it makes sense, but like, you wouldn't watch that movie and be like, oh, there's so many crimes in there. Like, it's a horror movie. It's like...
Speaking of the divine masculine, it reminds me of a great book called Way of the Superior Man.
Another bad title.
But that's another title that you mentioned that around any woman, and she's like, what in the fuck are you talking about? Great book, though.
You should
Shout out to David Data.
Are we going to become like a red pill podcast?
Yeah.
Is Jade going to slowly convince us?
That's the goal.
I've like met too many people recently and told them, like, it's come up in conversation that I'm like doing a podcast every so often, and they kind of give me a look of like what kind of podcast? And I'm like, we do talk about the divine masculine, so yeah, we are a red pill.
Don't worry, we're red pilled.
Easier to say than an anime podcast, you know.
I think they go hand in hand.
Two sides of the same coin.
Oh, never mind. Well, okay, I'll just tell you guys since I started. I got excited.
You have to say something.
Yeah. I toured a new apartment complex the other day at my work, and this fancy apartment had like a whole room dedicated to podcasting for people to just go and reserve, and then they could. It's like all soundproofed and stuff.
Why do I hate this? I don't know why. Why does this bother me?
Because we're doing the same thing as them.
Because imagine a world where everybody's podcasting, which is kind of the world we live in.
Yeah, we're close.
Yeah.
I want to be the only one.
And I, for one, welcome it.
Yeah, we could have just gone to the bar and had this exact same conversation.
I know.
But we decided to record it and edit it.
We could just be friends. We don't need to monetize it.
That's not in Jadrian's Divine Masculine handbook.
No, that's not the way of the superior man.
Yeah, that's simp shit.
Yeah.
You're a beta male, Sonic.
I love the montage that comes after it. So after they escape, we suddenly get, my interpretation at least, again, it might just be filler because the movie was too short, but they take all of those flashbacks that we've seen throughout the whole movie from different characters, and then they edit them into a montage that for the first time now is completely linear, where we're seeing the oldest flashback all the way up to the most recent one, which ends up giving us a little bit a better idea of exactly the narratives of some of our characters' past.
They add in new ones too, like potential possibilities for some of the characters. And it's so fast. There's so many of them for different characters. You don't really get a chance to break down what it is. You're kind of just trying to intake all this information and piece something together. And by the fifth time of watching it, you do catch on to certain things, like one of the Yakuza guys who comes in, not the big soccer guy, but the other guy messed up with this woman, lost the love of his life, and that's why he became a Yakuza member. And that's one of the something that you pick up from the montage. And that's just one example of many of the stories that all tie together in this.
And then at the very end, they do the most annoying thing in the whole movie, which is they show us the first scene where Nishi and Mion have their little meet again cute thing. Where when we saw it the first time around, her leg gets caught in the door of the subway, which allows the Yakuza guy holding the soccer ball to come onto the train afterwards and follow them. In this scene, we see it again, but her leg doesn't get caught, so the Yakuza guy doesn't actually get to follow them, implying that there's some other version of this story where none of this ever happened. And I find that so cheap and annoying. And then they follow it up with a title card that just says, "This story has never ended." In English, it's just corny, and it feels like they're showing their cards a little bit too much. Like, the movie works when it's being ambiguous because it doesn't really have that much to say. Yeah. It's a Rorschach test for anybody to project whatever they want onto it. But in doing that, putting that little button on the end of it, I just think it's so unnecessary, and it makes me think that, like, they're dumber than I would have thought they were.
Dang.
After all that.
I didn't know you
The
had
final
this
thought.
hidden hatred. Thought you loved this movie.
I love this movie, but that ending is so deviant art coded. Like, hate it.
Does Gen Z even know what deviant art is, or is this a millennial thing?
Do they need to?
No.
As the barely Gen Z representative, I know what it is, but it's also like artists and anime circles probably tend to know it more.
It's like anime Tumblr.
It is.
Yeah.
I had
really
a
is.
DeviantArt.
Did you have a Gaia online?
I had a guy online as well.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Bring the good old days.
I met a chick from South America on there who was my online waifu
Yeah.
when I was like 13.
Yo, you're picking
Maybe
out
a
ladies on DeviantArt? That's
On
pretty
Guy
sick.
Online.
Whatever I can.
That's a 13-year-old weeb's dream right there.
Also, just like seriously, what are the odds that was actually a lady from South America and not just like
No, it was me.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, my character was a dude.
My character was a hot Colombian girl. I do see what you're saying, where it suddenly cheapened the effect. Because, like, if you go back in time then and she made it through, does that mean he didn't go through all the character development? I didn't think about that.
Yeah. Well, my take on it was like similar to how he was given another chance and time reset. They went through it all, but now they're given a chance to kind of like live a new life with those experiences having been had.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
I actually think this is a profound movie. It's profound in a simple way. There's a line that Nishi says towards the end of the movie. We've seen all these montages and flashbacks, and he's like, I don't care if I'm a loser. I just want to be a part of it. Like, I just want to be a part of life. And that's, I mean, you could argue if that's profound or not. But what I like about this movie, it doesn't really romanticize any kind of life-affirming message, but I feel like this is one of the most life-affirming movies I've ever seen, and that line captures it, where it's like, what else can you say about life other than you just want to fully be a part of it, whatever that means? That's a powerful enough message for me.
Yeah.
And Nishi just had to get shot in the head by way of his asshole to figure that one out.
I also, just about that final sequence, I really, really loved the time lapses that as he was like walking through like his house being built before he was born. I just thought that was like beautiful to see. And maybe I'm reflecting on that too, just because like I'm moving out of like essentially my childhood home. I mean, I've been here 22 years.
Oh,
and
shit.
so,
I didn't know it was that long.
Yeah. And so soon everything's going to be empty. It's like regressing to a time before I existed in this space. I think moving always, I think it's always like, I don't know, especially when everything is like cleared out, you're like very reflective on things. And this is something I was surprised to experience when I moved out of Boston, because I lived there for 4 years and I hated Boston. At the end of those 4 years, when everything was out and packed, and then when I had returned to that neighborhood a few days later to pick up something else, it was like, holy shit, like this used to be my home, and now it's not tied to me at all. And that was such a weird.
Oh yeah, I always try to steal a piece of anywhere I've lived. When I move out, I go and like, rip a piece off the wall or just something so they have a piece of it with me. It's hard to say goodbye to those spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a whole door.
Yeah.
I just kept the keys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just steal the key. You can have that house whenever you want. So my mom sold our house like as soon as I graduated high school, essentially. And it's interesting how the way it lives in your head is very different than the way it looks, because we moved like a 5-minute drive away. I drive by my old house all the time, and it does not look the way it looks in my memories, not because it's physically changed, but it's just different. Don't know how that relates to Mind Game, but
Darian, I want to focus on you for a minute. You've been it feels like you've been hesitant to say how you feel about this movie. Was it just confusing and baffling, or like what were you experiencing when you were watching it?
It's such a hard question. I mean, the first guy was kind of pleasantly surprised and also like, okay, yeah, this is something Jaden Austen would recommend I watch. Like, this checks out. But I enjoyed it. And then, Inside the Whale, I mentioned, I had no idea what was happening, where we were going. I couldn't follow anything. I was wondering if I had taken mushrooms secretly. And so by the time we got to the end, I was like, I don't know how we got here or what's happening, but I enjoyed it. I'll probably watch it again sometime. I also ended up watching it.
I don't believe
where there
that. That's not true.
I think I might with fewer ads. I was watching it on something. There were a lot of ads interrupting, and it was really annoying.
Yeah, no, those were just dream sequences from Nishi himself.
Ryan Reynolds was there. It was weird.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
What?
That dude's evil. Ryan Reynolds sucks.
I agree. I don't like Ryan
What?
Reynolds.
The culture's turned on Ryan Reynolds.
I've always been a Ryan Reynolds hater. So
Really?
You talking about Ryan Gosling or Ryan Reynolds?
Reynolds.
Ryan.
I like Gosling.
RG's all right.
Yeah,
Archie.
But they're all great. I stopped reading the news a while ago, but I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Oh no, I just hate him.
Yeah, I don't think he's in the news or anything, as far as I know.
Him and his wife were in the
Oh,
news.
that's
They were
right.
in some movie. I forget the guy's name who was also acting in it, and they were being awful and abusive to him and trying to set him up to make the guy look like he was abusive to Ryan Reynolds' wife.
Really?
But it wasn't true.
Yeah.
It all came out. The guy published their text, and it just made them look like total.
They're in litigation right now.
Wow.
Ryan Reynolds, friend of the show.
You know what's crazy about this movie too? It was one of the inspirations for Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Really?
So,
I can see that.
which is actually kind of disappointing because I don't love that movie.
It's a great real people movie.
I liked it when I saw it in theaters because the crowd obviously was really enjoying it. I thought I was enjoying the movie because everybody around me was enjoying it so much. So I came home and I told my partner, oh yeah, we should watch this when it comes to streaming. And then seeing it without that crowd kind of made me realize this isn't that profound of a movie. It's it's just really flashy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't see what the problem is.
There's no problem at all.
It's
no problem at all. I just don't think it's everything everywhere all the time or whatever. The other thing about that movie and all, there were so many of these multiverse movies coming out for a while, and I just can't get down with. I just can't believe in multiverses, and I feel like that's going to be something that in the future people are going to be looking back on this time and be like, "Why the fuck was everybody obsessed with multiverses?" There's obviously no such thing as a multiverse. There's only one universe. There's nothing else. And the reason I don't like it is because the way that these shows and movies and books imagine the multiverse to exist is that every time a human being makes a decision, that creates a split in reality. And I just can't imagine that the universe is that concerned. The human beings and their personal decisions are that profound to the creation of universes, as opposed to what do dogs get to do that too? Does every time a dog sniff one thing other than another, that also creates multiverse splits?
I think so, right? That's the idea.
I think that's incredibly narcissistic of us as a planet to think we have that much dominion over the universe. And it also makes it if that's the case, then basically social science can be thrown out the window. Because social science is based off of being able to predict social behaviors based off of history and evidence and everything like this. But if there is a universe where we're all living on Mars because a guy accidentally hit the wrong person with his car in the 1970s, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know if these other universes actually exist, Austin. I agree. But also, I think it's just about the potential of small decisions.
Yeah, which I'd like that part, but I think it lets us off the hook a little bit. There's all these different multiverses, all these different possibilities. Well, it's no, there's this one right now, and people need to act accordingly if they don't want this shitty future.
Life is only on Earth. And not for long.
We do always talk about Miyazaki on this podcast, and I think, I'm not even going to compare it to Miyazaki because these are both great movies, I would say, but it did beat in 2004 Howl's Moving Castle in the.
Excuse me?
Yeah. It was some kind of animation competition, but it outranked it, which is kind of cool, actually. That a movie that's so rough around the edges and cluttered beat something as refined as Howl's Moving Castle.
I was actually wondering, I was like, no shot this was nominated for like an Academy Award or anything like that.
It didn't have much success when it first came out.
You're right.
Surprise, surprise. Right. Probably people didn't know what the fuck to make of it.
But it definitely got a bit of a cult following nowadays. I saw that it was playing at Low Cinema a couple months ago.
Well, all right, Darian, did we get your baka from you? Are we going into the baka zone now?
I want to go last. I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
Oh, this is actually kind of exciting. Darian always gives a baka. If she doesn't give a baka, that's
a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll think about it. Let's see what your arguments are.
Martin, you start us off.
I really enjoyed it. I think in terms of like a spectacle, it's beautiful. And like I said, that first third had me glued to the screen. I was like, I'm watching a genuine masterpiece happening. Like, this is so fun. And the shot choices are so pretty, and the wide angles and the compositions and the backgrounds were also beautiful. And I think that's why when we were in the whale and suddenly it's like this very dark landscape and we're stuck in this room with just these four characters, some of which are more developed than others. I think the movie lacks any development really for the two sisters, truly. Mm-hmm. And the grandpa's kind of a comedic gag type of character. So that's why it kind of falters in my mind. And then these like psychedelic, I was trying to think about it. Why do some of these psychedelic trips and montages work and some don't for me? Because I think something like the sex scene, their first intimate moment together, was fantastic. Very evocative. Yeah. It completely encapsulates like kind of like a first connection with someone. And then we have other moments which are fun to watch, but like Austin was saying, could be perceived as like filler or for like shits and giggles for like a music video type of thing where, the bamboo dicks rope, jump rope.
So tight.
Or like the manga sequences when they're like in the space world and he's like a big shot manga artist.
I love that. Right. I love it. He's like, he's a big shot manga artist. He's imagining like getting out of the whale and it's all like futuristic out there and there's flying cars and shit. And these kids run up to him and they're like, "Are you Nishi?" And then he looks at them. And I crack up every time. You get this like streak effect over his face. It turns black and white and he just goes, "Fuck yeah."
Yeah, to be fair, that is what I would imagine my future being like as an animation director. That's exactly what I want. So all of that to say, like I definitely was not disappointed in watching this movie, and I give it a solid good baka.
Wow, a solid baka.
Solid baka.
All right, our first baka.
Robin.
So that is the difficulty of a binary scoring system, isn't there? It's either baka or no baka. Mm-hmm. Because I do feel like this was a 45-minute movie that they stretched into an hour and a half or an hour and 45 minutes, if that makes sense.
No, I agree.
Mm-hmm. Hence the whole filler issue. But then again, the more we've unpacked it, the closer I got to a baka. But this was a hard watch for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get that perception through us talking about it from you.
Yeah, I don't know if my heart was in it when I was watching it.
What was your biggest issue with it? Like, why wasn't it working?
It was mostly just pacing, which also sounds like it was the point. So I feel like if I could, I would love to give it a baka asterisk. You
can qualify the baka. It could be a soft baka. Yeah.
Soft baka. That's also my nickname going forward for this.
Soft baka.
Soft baka.
Hey, yo, soft baka, what's up?
Yo, what up, soft baka?
That's what you sounded like as soft vodka. I was like, that's
That
sick.
is what I sound like, is soft baka.
All right, Austin.
I'll share it in our group chat, but I've made a music video like during COVID that is really watching this. I hadn't seen this movie in a long time, and I've ripped off this movie so many times in the video work that I've done throughout my life, like really blatantly. Like the whole like face thing, the photographed face thing. I like literally made a whole music video with that as like it was all clips from different movies, and then me and my friend's face as the protagonist of all these different characters. So I this movie is like in my DNA. It's like I watched it at that time in your life when it just connects and it influences you, and so I can't tell if it's a good movie or not. I kind of suspect it might not actually be a good movie, but I still love it nonetheless.
Don't do this to me, man. Don't fucking do this.
I'll continue watching
Thank
it.
you.
I feel moved by it. The music tugs at my heartstrings. It's corny, but I do love the movie. So a heartfelt baka from my side.
Wow.
I love it. All right, I'll
Beautiful.
take that. Well, I'm obviously going to give this movie a baka. And I think, to your point of like maybe it was the time that we saw it or something. I read Kafka on the Shore when I was in high school, and that was the perfect time to read it. And then I tried to reread it now, and I was like,
Shitty
it's good,
fucking
but it doesn't.
book.
Yeah, it doesn't quite hit. So I, of course, maybe am biased too, but I do think this is like the ultimate life affirming movie that isn't romanticizing it, which is important, because if you're dealing with something that's existential and depressing, like what is the meaning of life, you don't want something that's an illusion, something that's fake. You want to come to a realization that is truly profound and reminds you of why you should live. And I feel like this movie doesn't provide an answer, but a feeling in the end of it's worth it just to participate. I do really think is a powerful thing. So yeah, maybe there's some parts in the movie that are kind of boring, like the whale part or whatever. I personally don't mind it, but this movie just struck me so hard, and the way that it ties everything together, and the end of this symphony of music and montages and memories, and it makes you feel that expanse, that cosmic magnitude of life itself, not just your life, but just like the happenings of life. And it's pretty rare that a movie just makes me feel something like that, So I give it a booyah baka. Yeah.
Take us away, Darian.
Well, I want to say I don't think it's a bad movie. It was really interesting to watch. It reminded me of Fooly Cooley in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So that was fun. I really like Fooly Cooley. Yeah, really interesting. I like how it would kind of emphasize random things. Like I remember it zoomed in at one point and you're like looking at leg hairs as they're like running, and I'm like, okay. And I think it's fun. But if I'm being honest, the art style and the story aren't really for me necessarily. It is still a worthy movie, but I myself cannot give it a baka for me.
Well, Darian won't be on the next episode.
Wow.
It's because it had real people faces.
Yeah.
That was probably it.
That's true.
You've never given an anime a no baka.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Is this the first one?
Yeah. In fact, you've been on the record as saying, I don't remember what it was, but at one of the movies we watched, you said, well, it's anime, so I got to give it a baka. So what I'm hearing is you don't think this is anime. It crossed the line.
I don't know if it is.
I mean, they do use a lot of real people faces.
Yeah.
A few too many.
Too many.
Darian's no baka compared to the reverence that Austin and Jade had for this movie made me think of something. I watched Gladiator with my wife recently.
Hell yeah.
Now, Gladiator came out when I was 7, so that was the best movie to ever exist. And it still is, because it came out at the perfect time, right when my consciousness was like coming online for the first time. It was awesome. And then even to this day, I was like, was it that good? Did I just think it was good? It did win an Oscar, I think Best Picture that year. And I watched it with my wife, and she just goes, this is such a 14-year-old boy movie. I just went, oh shit, it kind of is.
It's still,
and so Darian going,
rocks, though.
It just wasn't for me. And I went, okay, yeah, I see. This hit a lot of people at the perfect time. But if you didn't watch it at that time, you might not have been as moved.
And I think Jade's comparison to Kafka on the Shore is like completely accurate. I think that book would have hit as well when I was like 14 and Kafka's age.
Back when you also wanted to have sex with your mom?
With my mom, kind of. Or my sister, kind of. Or
yeah, we don't know.
The ghost
we don't
of your
know.
Sister.
No. And like that, just a little rant on that book. That book is the reason why I've given up fucking reading in the last like half year, because I've been stuck on the last 100 pages, and I'm like, should I continue with it or should I stop? And because I'm not a quitter, I'm gonna keep reading it. And then every time I pick it up, I'm like, I hate this fucking book.
I was actually having this conversation recently. There are so many good books out there. Don't waste your time reading a book that you don't want to read.
Exactly.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, I will.
So some 14-year-old could pick it up and have a mind-blowing experience.
Yeah.
So Darian, we needed your no baka. We needed it in this.
Thank you.
Honestly, I'm kind of glad you gave it a no, but I'm glad you're standing your ground, because I can't really trust someone who never gives a no baka. You know what I mean? In life and on the podcast.
I'm practicing my boundaries. Yeah. I've had some situations come up recently that I had to have a come to Jesus with life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A little bit. It's like, it's time to hold my ground a little bit more.
Okay, well, don't hold your ground with me. Let me just do what I want.
I think you're the only person I have held my ground with at times. Like,
yeah, it sounds like the incident might have been with you, Jade.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for all your support, friends, baka buddies with the no baka.
Anytime.
Thanks for watching it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, real quick, Robin, yay or nay, Master and Commander?
I have not seen it since it was out in theaters.
We recently rewatched it, and it fucking rocks.
I actually hear that very often, that people have gone back to watch it and they go, this was so much better than I thought it was.
It's so good. It's like, it's just a whole movie about dudes rocking. And there's not a lady in sight. It's just the boys. Just the boys on a boat, and they're working together. They're
way of the superior men.
Supporting each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very red pill movie.
I think the Academy Museum in LA, like their Foley sound section of the museum shows like a 20-minute like kind of documentary about that movie.
I think I've seen that actually. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's not as red pilled as you might imagine, because it's really quite holistic. Like there's something wholesome in that it shows like positive masculinity and male bonding. It's non-aggressive and not a game of one-upmanship or dick measuring or anything like that. It's actually it shows a very positive form of male bonding that's comradely.
Just like
because there's no woman on that ship.
Yeah. I was gonna say just like Jade's red pill book that he was mentioning.
Yeah, great book. That's great book. Seriously, shout out to David Tate.
All right, next episode, Master and Commander.
Yeah.
we need to make Darian watch at least one real person movie.
We watched Yojimbo.
Oh, okay, I see.
I like Darian looking at the sky like, what have I ever seen a real person movie?
I can't remember Yojimbo. You guys keep talking about it. I must have blacked out.
Black and white samurai film.
Just listen to the
just listen to the episode. Yeah. It's a good episode.
Then I'll remember.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that reminds me. Do you guys listen to the episodes, by the way?
I do. They're great.
I listened to two.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You should listen to the most recent ones. Yeah.
I'm halfway through Hey, and God, I finished K-pop Demon Hunters, and I was looking forward to that episode, and I was like, I can't send this to anyone. I was like,
that
this.
the one that was just like Jade was weirdly horny the entire time?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
There's like
What was that about?
maybe 10 fucking sound effects to the Pornhub intro. Like,
I didn't think it was that out of character
Yeah,
for him, to be
I
honest.
thought it was normal. Okay, I'll tone back the points.
Ramp it up, Jade. If there's one thing I learned from Mind Game, it's to ramp that up.
Ramp it up.
Be yourself.